Machine Knitters. I'm Danielle from LoveYourKnittingMachine.com, and I am here to show you this super simple, easy sock pattern. This is a slipper just because it's done in a chunky yarn, but if you have never done socks before and you've been wanting to try them, this is a super easy pattern. Awesome for beginners. It doesn't have any special ribbing or anything that you need to do at the top. You can just let it be a rolled edge. So this is a super easy project for all beginners. And what I did is I'm just using a flatbed knitting machine, and I am using some fun chunky yarn. This is a variegated yarn. It is a number 5 bulky yarn. So that's probably like a 20 or 24 ply in the UK. And this is, oh, what is this color? Jigsaw. So it has some blues, some tans. You can see there's almost some black and orangey brownish colors on the back. So this was a super simple project. So I hope you try this one out and give your knitting machine some love this week. Okay, so we are going to E-wrap cast on 20 stitches, and then we are going to go ahead and I'm going to knit this from the front. So I'm going to do the front first down to the toe, and so I am going to knit 35 rows at tension 7. Okay, so now I'm going to short row the toe. So I'm going to have, I'm going to push out the needle on the side of the carriage and put my machine into hold and knit across. Then I'm going to push out the needle on the side of the carriage again. And I'm going to do this until we are down to 7 and 7, and I think there'll be 6 in the back. Okay, so this is our 7th one, so now we are going to push this one back to short row out. Okay, so now you may want to wrap to avoid holes, but these are, you get a pretty big spacing on these anyway because it's chunky yarn, so you probably wouldn't even notice the holes if you didn't want to wrap your yarn. So to wrap the yarn, all I'm doing is grabbing it and putting it under that needle. And you're pushing back the needle that's opposite your carriage now. So I'm going to wrap my yarn and push back a needle. So that will be our toe. I'm going to hang a weight. And now I am going to knit 17 rows, and that will be the bottom of our sock. I'm going to reset my row counter. Okay, so we're at 17 rows, and so now I am going to short row the heel the same way we did before. Make sure your machine is into holding position. And we're pulling out the needle on the same side of the carriage. You can kind of tell when your stitches start getting loose, then you need to hang a weight. So I should have pushed this one back. So I'm just going to go ahead and knit that. So now you'll want to wrap your yarn and short row out. And now I'm going to knit the last part, which is 18 rows. Okay, that's 18 rows, and now I'm going to bind off using a back stitch, and I'm going to mattress stitch up the sides of my socks. Okay, so since I'm on the left side, the back stitch to me is a little bit awkward. I definitely prefer it when I'm on the right side, but because I went backwards, I ended up with all odd numbers. Okay, so all you're doing is going in and out the first 2 stitches. And then you're going in behind the second one and into the 3rd stitch. And the second one behind the next into the 3rd. Back a stitch, behind a stitch, into a stitch. Back one, behind one, into one. Okay, when we get to the end, it's still the same. The last one you're going in, and then we'll just go in that. Go in both of the last 2. And then we will go in the last one again to secure our yarn. Pull your work forward, pull your needles forward. Then you can just slide your knitting off the machine. It's easier if you take your weights off. We have this long piece of nothing. Okay. So there we have it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to mattress stitch all the way down the sides, and then you'll end up with a cute little slipper. Just like this, with a rolled edge.